Good afternoon, my friends. This afternoon we'll be in the book of Genesis, chapter 38, 1 through 26. And the title is The Signet, the Cord, and the Staff. Judah knew of a lady, and then with that lady, he had, that's the daughter of Shua. And with the daughter of Shua, they had 3 children. And the first one was Er. And then after Er, the second one was Onan. And after Onan, they had Shelah. So they had three children, 3 sons. And then the first son, God was not pleased with him because he was wicked in the sight of God. So God struck him with eternal sleep. So after that, as the first one, Judah found a wife for their son, and the wife's name was Tamar. So Tamar became a widow, and then Judah said, well, it is not good for her to be by herself. So he talked to Onan. He said, Onan, you are the brother, and your brother is gone. Now your sister-in-law is here. She's a widow. Go ahead and be with your sister-in-law so she can have an offspring. So Onan accepted, he obeyed, and he went and he stayed with his sister-in-law, with Tamar, and he stayed with Tamar. But any time that they became intimate, he wasted the semen, and God did not like it. So God struck Onan with eternal sleep, and after that, Tamar was there, and she was just waiting because Er was gone, and now Onan was gone. And then the father-in-law talked to her. He said, "Okay, Shelah is a little boy. He's too young, and I think Tamar, what you can do now is to go ahead and stay at your father's house. So until my son grows up, then you can be with him." But in his mind, he was thinking. He said, "I have already lost my first son. Er is gone. The second one is gone. Well, I don't know if I'm prepared, if I'm ready to lose my third son. So just go to your father's house." So she left and she went to her father's house. She went there, and then later on, Judah's wife passed away, and he was so sad. And then after he was comforted, he said, "Okay, let me go ahead and shear my sheep. So I need to go to Timnah." So he was getting ready to go to Timnah. And as he was going to Timnah, the people talked to Tamar, and they told Tamar, your father-in-law is about to go to Timnah. And she said, "Okay, good for me." So she took off her a widow's clothing and a widow's garment. She took them off, and then she said, "Okay, let me go ahead and wear a veil." So she wore a veil, and then she wrapped herself up, and she went and she sat at the entrance to Enaim, because you have to go through Enaim before you reach Timnah. So she sat there, and as Judah was passing by, he looked at her. He said, "Oh, this is a prostitute." So, and then he went to her. He said, "Can I get into you?" And then she said, "Well, what are you going to give me?" He said, "Well, I'm going to give you a young goat." He said, "Well, you will give me a young goat, but can you give me a pledge?" He said, "Well, a pledge? What do you want me to give you? What pledge you want?" And then she said, "Okay, just give me your signet, give me your cord, and give me your staff, the staff that you have in your hand." He said, "No problem at all. You can get those, and then when I send you the young goat, you send the pledge back to me." Deal. Okay. So he went into her, and then she got pregnant, and she was pregnant. 3 months later, of course, they found that she was pregnant. And when they told, just before that, it's important to say that Judah sent his friend to go and give the pledge. To send his friend so he can bring the young goat. So he went and was looking for Tamar, looking for the prostitute who was there at the entrance to Enaim, but she was not to be found. So they asked, and they said that we don't know that prostitute. So he went back to his friend and told Judah, I couldn't find her, so here is the young goat. So she doesn't exist. They don't know her there. So after that, it was the end of it, and he said, well, as you are my witness, I sent the young goat, but nobody was there to take it. So it's fine. We can just keep she can keep the pledge. It's okay. So Judah was there, and then he heard something. They said, you know what? They said, what's going on? He said, Tamar is pregnant. She was immoral, so she got pregnant. 3 months, almost 3 months later, and they said, that's so strange that she is pregnant. What's going on? And Judah said, no, take her out, bring her out, and make sure that she's burned, because what she did is not right. And then as they brought her out, Tamar said, okay, the one who is the owner of all this is the one who did that to me. And then she showed the stick, the signet, and the cord, and the staff. And when Judah saw those 3 items, he said, she is more righteous than I am. Because Shelah grew up, and she knew, Tamar knew that Shelah grew up, but nobody called her for her to be with him. So that's why she did what she did. So poor him. And Judah said, well, she is more righteous than I am. Do not burn her. What I did was wrong, because Shelah grew up, but I did not call her for her to come and be with my son. That's the end of our story for today, that you find in the book of Genesis chapter 38, verses 1 through 26. The signet, the cord, and the staff. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.